Welcome back to Dads, One Dutt, the podcast. For the 100th time.
Yes.
That's a lot of podcasts.
Contigo.
Who would have thought?
I have a Contigo, and I can't help but want to say it with an accent.
Not racist. He's not racist. He loves women.
I mean, it sounds right.
No, so it all comes from, I showed both you guys, right, the bloopers to Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So Michael J. Fox is walking in the hallway, and he just has a huge Spanish accent, and he just goes,
He has a hairnet, too.
yeah, and he just goes, hey, look, man, this bitch is cheating, man. And he's just staring at her through the fucking glass. It's one of the funniest bloopers I've ever seen. And neither of them can keep it together. And I just start crying, dude. He's like, this bitch is cheating, man. It's so good.
That was the reason why that's so good is because you almost think it's fake. Because you're like, he would never do that.
No.
And that's why it's so good.
It's so, dude. Both of them are just fucking.
You used to get away with that kind of humor.
You can't know.
No. Especially the hairnet. But yeah, go ahead.
You know what else is really good, though?
Yes.
It's March Madness.
Hello.
Hi, what's up?
And for this March Madness, you guys need to come out to Bruner's Pub. He is having a $25 bracket buy-in. He's also doing drink specials all the way through March Madness. He's got $10 High Life buckets, $11 Busch Light buckets, and $15 domestics. The offer's good for the entire March Madness. Come on out. If you're not a big bracket gambler, completely understand. Have some,
Come for the atmosphere.
yeah,
Come
atmosphere,
for the fun.
some adult beverages.
I love it.
Great time.
Shout out their food.
What do you got?
Also, First Shield Defense, shout them out, our other sponsor. You can only train at the range so much before it gets too expensive, too dangerous, or you run out of things you can safely train. First Shield Defense helps with this problem. Seeing how fast and accurate you are at the range should not be your only focus. Your self-defense training should include things like psychology of violence, what a killer looks for in their victims, legalities, decision-making, combatives, and so much more. First Shield Defense will help you with all of it. Text or call 260-267-5200 today to schedule your free consultation. FirstShieldDefense.com.
Free consultation. While you're there, let them know you are an offspringer. You do listen to us on either Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Google, Amazon, Pandora, or you like to watch our faces once a week, every week. Here we are. Smash the like. Hit the subscribe.
Boob tube.
Sker. Drop that beat.
Yes. 100.
100 episodes.
Okay, I have something for you
Hit me
guys.
with it.
I'll probably have to edit it a little bit just because who knows, but here we go.
Sure. That's what we do. Like this part. Are you going to sing it?
Oh, yeah. Roughly 6,240 fucking minutes. That's how long we've roughly done the pod.
Yes.
Roughly 6,240 fucking minutes. That's how long we've been two dads, one dude. In hot takes, in top threes, and usually just some bullshit. And that's all I got.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, that's
well
all I got.
done.
I was doing the math today.
I love it. Two Dads, One Dutt podcast. We're so fucking back, baby. 100. As always, I am your One Dutt, Justin Dutteroy.
I told you guys I was bringing my fastball today. So, okay, I'm Travis Trevor, a.k.a. The a.k.a. stands for almost known as
Okay.
Justin Jenkins. Had a little warm conversation with the madre over the supper. She goes, I knew your middle name was going to be Carl because of your grandpa, but Carl's too old. So I said it's between Travis or Justin.
80s babies, dude. Justin was hot in the 80s.
I was almost JJ.
AKA.
Exactly. And JJ is who's my arguably favorite, most comparable person on Outer Banks. So I'm just like, I was so close. But fun little tidbit. I told my mom, when I meet people that I don't know or like customers, things like that, there seems to be a tendency where people think Travis is usually associated with like a black person's name. And I was like,
Scott?
it was
Nice.
that. But I was like, I could kind of
That's all I
see
got.
it. And she goes, Travis. She goes, I could see Tyrone. And I go, well, yeah, I could too. Like, I was just like, you don't get it, Mom. That's okay. Bless your heart. But yeah,
Hard to see where you get it.
Always Travis, sometimes Trevor, never Justin.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm always Sker Dad,
Fake dad.
unless it's Brandon.
What?
My name.
Sker Dad. There you go.
That's
Okay. Quick little recap on the OTGs, the off the grids. I don't think I've fully encompassed or made people cognizant of what I'm truly trying to accomplish or do. You guys seem to think otherwise, but really what it is just every day you wake up with like 50 to 100 fucking emails and it's just nonsense, you delete them. You just start taking that head on. Accept the challenge. Hit the unsubscribe button. I am now down to 1, if not 0 emails a day when I wake up. It's fantastic. I did talk about this already.
That part you did.
Yeah, because I remember. Yeah.
There it is. Recap. He's just trying to lessen his screen time. He's not going off the grid. He's just trying to lessen his screen time. That's what it is. Congrats to him. You're down to 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. I could never. But I love it for you. I love it for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty off the grid, man. Pretty off the grid. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. WABs. That's all I got. Sorry.
I'll leave it there.
Okay. So my worst. This is, for me, it's like a first of the worst and best are the same thing. But watch how we play it here. Ready?
That's what we do
Okay.
here. It's the 100th. We
100th.
get it.
Yep.
Why not?
Woke up to a parking sticker on my truck because those are a thing.
Love it.
Just a big, what do you want to say, like 8 by 12, we're talking inches.
Oh,
just
yeah.
green sticker. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I look at it, and I mean, it's the like checks a box where it's like, parked illegally this day, this time. And I'm like, I guess it's coming time to where the alley turns into like the food brunch little area. So I expect it usually when it comes to be almost springtime. But I was like, what the fuck? And then it's one of those stickers you peel off and it just doesn't come off. So
Oh,
there's
yeah.
just 80 different ways you got to tackle it, and it just drives me crazy. But I don't get it. Like, it was put on there, and it says you can't park here because you're illegally blocking trash receivers or something. So like garbage men. And I'm like, brother, I don't know what to tell you, but we've been parked here for a while. Like, this is a parking alley. Like, what do you want us to do here? Not park? Like, I get that we don't pay for it, but if you're from downtown, you just know.
Is there a thing that says, like, when trash gets picked up? Because I can understand, like, it's a tight alley.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a maneuver in there. So
Well-
maybe it's like between this time and this time on this day, you can't.
So that's what I thought, because there's a trash can, like, right by the front spot.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, maybe I was too close. And I'm like, I'm inside the lines. I'm not being an asshole. But then I do the thing where I kind of like, I peek down the alley. Everybody's got this sticker on their car. So I was like, all right, fuck it. we're good.
Good day for the city.
You
Yeah.
should have took a picture of it.
Got 'em
and
all.
fought it.
Oh, wait for the best. That's my worst. Just, it's the classic, like, you learn these tricks on where to park. And I get that people will always come at me and say, it says you can't park here. It's, reserved spot. And it's like, bitch, no, it ain't. Like,
Yeah.
you can park there whenever you want. I promise you, respectfully. Like, chill.
Unless it tells you can't.
Unless you put a big green sticker on my truck and then every other car that's parked there, because
Well, at least you know everybody got one. It's not just you.
yeah, and you start to learn, like, the truck at the very end is like the maintenance guy, and he got dinged with one, and I'm like, well, now you're just being a dick.
Or is he being above board? Everybody's equal.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck these parking. Go ahead. That's my worst. I hate it.
You were just getting there. I mean, you were so close
What?
to just really getting geared up. I could tell.
I was pissed. We'll come back around.
My worst from last week, procrastination kind of bit me a little bit.
Right in the tushy.
It was one of my buddy's birthdays, and I didn't send the happy birthday text.
Ooh.
I'm not a social media guy. Like, don't do that, person. I was like, if you're in my phone enough for me to like know your number or something, then
Yeah.
it's pretty genuine, send me the text.
OTG adjacent.
And my wife even said,
wife.
she even said like, oh, hey, I texted him, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Completely forgot. Felt like a jerk the next day. And then
You're an aloof kind of guy, though.
couple days ago, I saw him out, and I don't think it was a specific dig on me, but he was just like, yeah, I think 10 people wished me happy birthday on my birthday. And I was just like, oh, buddy.
Could have been
Sorry.
Could have been 0.
Happy belated.
I mean, could have been 9. Could have been 8.
But I was just like,
Could have been 11, dude.
it could have been.
His favorite number.
Should have been.
Ooh.
And I was just like, damn it, Brandon. Like, even if he's not talking about you, he kind of is because you're one of those people.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Matt
And it was
Woods.
just one of those, if I just would have did it when I should have, instead of just letting it go.
Happy belated, Matt Woods.
Yeah, sucked.
You won't listen to this ever, so
That's true.
we'll just say your name a bunch.
You know what? I don't feel bad.
Everybody's listening. Everybody go find Matt Woods. Send
him
him a happy birthday message.
The best thing, real
I
quick.
think he's off Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
I think
The-
he's off the
the
social.
best
He's OTG.
move.
He really is.
I usually only see Matt Woods in specific gatherings, so it's like, events or like big
Yeah.
games or something going on. Love him to death. The best thing was at the Super Bowl for when we all went over to Brandon Smith. Shout out Brandon Smith's house and Caitlin's house. The kickoff or the what's that song they sing? National Anthem happened.
That song they sing.
It got done and it like cut to commercial and Woods just does
I'm
one of those casual, like kind of takes a swig of a beer and he just goes, "All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pack up, get out of here." And it's like, this is the biggest game of the year.
I just wanted to see the national anthem.
All right, I'm out.
I lost. It was under.
I was just like, okay, see you,
It was
Woods.
under by a half second. I'm fucking out of here. I know how
Adios.
this day's going.
Vaya con Dios. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What's
though.
your worst?
Just be better, Brandon.
Yeah, my worst. I let the temptation come over me on Saturday.
What'd you enter into?
The casino
The danger
to
zone?
the table. Got up. Should have got out. But we're having fun. We're going. Lost it.
Are we
Got
able
more
to
money. Lost it. So then I was like, I kind of just took the night to a whole different level. And I was like, I said I was going to go straight home after work. Like Molly was out of town. I was going to go home. I was going to finish Peaky Blinders, order some food, just hang out.
Yeah, those are
And
some
then I
of
was
the best
like,
days sometimes.
But then IU was playing, so he got roped into corner. And then I'm like,
They got the
what was Zach? And
they
I
got
was like,
shit.
all right, let's go to the casino. He didn't want to, and I didn't want to. But then everybody was like, let's go. You get a couple buckets in. You're like, all right, let's check it out.
IU got
Let's check
pissed
it out.
on, dude.
They lost my feeling.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Pissed
Lost
on.
that. So I lost every bet. So I was like, got to get it back. Got to get it back.
Can we ask what the units were?
I got up probably around 600.
Okay.
Lost that.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So I was
don't
up.
need to know
I was
that.
up 400 because I bought in 200.
Nice.
So I lost 400,
Sorry.
then lost the 200, then got another 200, lost that. So I was down 400 total for the day.
Oh. Jeez.
Up
Uh-huh.
400 to down 400.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
It's like if you just say, okay, I went in with
And I
400
knew I
and
was
lost
done.
400. I was like, okay. But when you're up
Yeah.
and you lose it, it just feels 4 times worse.
And I was
Self-
done, and everybody was like, I told everybody, I was like, I doubled my money. I'm
See how I
good.
said 4 times there?
Yeah. 4
Won
times.
again a little bit, so I won. And I was like, okay.
Wait,
now
4
we're riding.
times? What do you mean?
And then I'm
Is
like,
that
all right.
400?
Ah.
Yeah. That was my worst.
Self-imposed ban?
Yep. It's back on.
Nice.
We're back on.
There
okay.
you go.
Cool.
Just needed it.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
Not as sad as it usually can get, so that's good, but let's get happy. Our besties, our bests of the week. Everyone in the alley got the same sticker as me, and it was awesome because I once I noticed that, I was like, breath of fresh air, because when I see those, like usually you get the ticket in the windshield wiper, and I feel like everybody instinctively kind of just wants to like glance around like somebody's undercover watching them, like,
Yeah.
I gave you a ticket, bitch. I just did the casual. I just tried to rip it off, and I just threw it
Just
away.
that middle line.
Well, because I'm like, it was basically stating that, like, if you're here much longer for the day, like, we're going to tow you, or we're going to start towing these trucks too. And I was like, okay, fuck it, whatever, crumble. I'm not towed. Like, I'm out of here. I don't have a boot on or nothing. And I noticed when I was pulling out of the alley, like, I glanced over, because, again, I'm still checking to see these other cars. There is just a mound of these fuckers stuck to, like, the reserved parking spots along the way. So I'm like, oh, yeah, like, the people that live down here or, like, park here enough know, like, what the fuck is this guy doing with these fucking
Yeah.
stickers, dude? Like, get out of here. So it was like that rebellious, like, good feeling of, yeah, everybody else just said, fuck the man too. Like, try and tow us, bitch. You can't fit a tow truck in there. So I don't know what
Can't fit the garbage truck, can't fit the tow truck, baby.
Yeah, like, I don't know what you're going to do, but I promise you,
They'll boot you.
I don't give a fuck. I've been parking there for the
You don't have a car if they
7
put a boot on it, bud.
truck 7 years. Like, I'm sorry.
I bet you they could tow you out of there.
Oh, I guarantee they could.
Well, they have to do the thing where they, like, pull you out almost,
Yeah.
and then they tow you. Either way, it's too much work.
I mean, it's going to fuck your car or truck.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. But for sure, they could get you out.
Yeah, if they wanted to. I think it's all just a fucking ploy to, like, try and get us scared. Like, buddy, I know when spring comes, I'll move.
I mean, have you like considered
So what do they do with the stickers?
like calling down to like the actual or like reaching out to the city
No.
council?
I don't give a fuck. They didn't charge me nothing.
I mean, it's so there's just a warning.
Just a
That's
warning.
what I'm
That's
saying.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it was just a big.
Oh,
ass
you made it sound like
warning
it was an
sticker.
actual
Oh
ticket.
no, it's just a
No,
warning.
usually it's a $10 ticket, but I was like,
Oh.
this is just some dorky fucking.
I got one behind Coney Island actually because I parked in like the other people's parking lot. You know, you
Yep.
pull, but on the other side.
Yeah.
Dude, immediately walked in, got it to go, came out, probably 7 minutes. Sticker. I was like, they saw me park, walk around, was like,
That's what I'm saying.
Get out
dude.
there, put
They're-
it on there.
The parking control people are they're losing it.
they're like, this is your first offense. You do it again.
Yeah,
You got to
they're-
pay a ticket. You do it again, you get towed.
They're
I'm like,
just-
you don't fucking know.
But I mean, what do you want them to do?
They're just going rogue. Like they're just being assholes.
Or were they going rogue by not doing their jobs for so long, and now like they're actually doing
I think it's
it?
just the warning to let you know, like, hey, man, you're not going to be able to park here.
Well, so here's the thing, because we like to do that.
HTG.
If you look up on downtown Fort Wayne's website, it gives you a lot of beautiful information. One of those pieces being where you can park monthly. There are some just random open lots around downtown that are technically monthly parking spots. I'm sorry, but your shit's going to get jacked probably once or twice every month. You know what I mean? In the sense of somebody's going to go park at the Y and they're going to pull into this privately owned parking lot that's not marked or anything. It's just a big open concrete space. Nobody's going to abide by that. Sorry.
Yeah, but if it's my lot and I'm there and I see it, I'm putting a sticker on you
Well, yeah, that's
to
the
let you
point.
know
Like,
that's your warning.
You absolutely have the ability to park wherever you want, but
Yeah. And I
there's
do.
also the consequence of
Of
getting a ticket.
Yeah.
Let's roll, baby. Let's ride. Roll the dice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's my
I mean,
best.
but you're technically parked in a reserved parking spot.
But it hasn't been reserved for anybody in years.
You don't know that.
500.
But that's what they. But that's why they put reserved on there. So if you go to try to fight it, they're like, "Well, it says reserved."
Oh, 100%. I mean, I used to have to park in like it was. Kelsey and I found out the math. It was like 2, 3, 6, 7, and 10 were good. But again, it's semantics because then all of a sudden.
Did you give her a package, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, shout out to Kelsey. Shipped a couple states away. Did the good deed.
Yeah, you did.
That's my best. So let's move on.
Love it.
Yeah.
Social
Getting
deviant.
fired, dude.
Stickers.
Not his best.
So my
Living
best
on a high.
is actually just kind of currently happening. I'm on vacation starting this week.
Yep.
It's March Madness. I leave to go to Boston tomorrow with my wife, who doesn't know that we're going there.
Because you're gonna hear this in the future,
Uh-oh.
and he'll be there,
Spoiler
walking
alert.
into Cheers.
So
Great bar.
You know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, well, now you're jinxing it. Now all kinds of like bad shit's out there. I'm like, I'm throwing it to the wind. I want to put the positive vibes out there.
PVOs,
PVOs.
baby.
Through the roof.
Preemptively saying this is going to be an awesome week. It's already started off. It's Monday.
You don't
I'm here
get
to
it,
100.
dude. Boston fucks. Like the city is
What do you
so
mean?
cool.
I'm not. I'm excited.
I know, but I'm just trying to
It says
hype-
delicious as the cream pie it's named after.
I want a Sammy Adams.
I want a Boston lager. No, but what I'm saying is you go to Fenway, you get a fucking hot dog. It's just it's beautiful. The downtown, there's no like
It's
squares.
going to rain and snow every day we're there.
Probably.
No, literally.
Could be pretty.
I'm honestly worried that my flight won't be there because they have like a high wind warning for the next 2 days in Boston. I'm already getting alerts on the app where it's like, hey, make sure you check this.
blow you there faster.
I called the resort or the hotel we're staying at. I'm like, look, there's crazy weather alerts, as you probably know. Like, what happens if my flight gets canceled? Because my reservation says I'm past the point where I
Oh,
could cancel
yeah.
my hotel.
Yeah.
And they're like, honestly, like, this is the one thing that we accommodate. Like, if you can't get here,
As they should. Physically,
I
you just
understand.
can't.
Correct. And they're like, well, we'll try to
But
like
here's a rental car.
You could drive.
redo the reservation. I'm like, no, there's no redoing it. Like, I'm not off
This
for
is
2
it.
weeks. Like,
This
I'm
is it.
going for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a sick town, dude. I hope you make it.
Sick town.
Sick town, bro. Pocket got in the
Dude, it's oh man, the garden, the fucking the subway.
God.
The subway goes through it. Like, dude, it's just so tight.
What's the commercial with Krasinski and Chris Evans? The Smart Pack.
It's got Smart
It's got
Pack.
Smart
Hey, don't worry,
Pack.
this guy's got Smart Pack. No, the best one ever with the Boston accent was the fucking every now I watch The Sopranos and then I ain't got no picture. I gotta put me as here, and here just to get a signal. I'm done with the dish. So good, dude. So good.
Oh no! When there was a skit from the SVP and Rosillo, they
Yeah.
would do the Pulse of the Nation,
Yeah.
and it
I
was
have
just,
no idea what that is. Go on.
well, they basically just talk. So they came out with like was it Drop Dead Murphys,
Sure.
the Boston. So the most typical Boston song comes out with like the bagpipes, whatever. Dropkick Murphys. I'm sorry, but anyways,
Now I get it.
yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so they just come out and they just do Boston accents for like a minute and a half.
As I should.
And it's great.
Fun, dude.
Oh, it's so good.
It's happy-go-lucky stuff.
Nice. Happy for you. I hope you make it.
I love
Shout
it.
out T
I love it. Yeah, my cousin.
for her birthday, right?
Happy 40th.
Ooh, 4-0.
0.
Nice.
Dirty 40.
She's
Well,
older than you?
She is.
She is. bro.
Dude, reach her in the settler.
I know.
Yeah.
She reached and I settled. I didn't do.
Just strictly age-wise.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out. Cousin stuff. Okay. Dutt, what's your
Cousin
best?
stuff.
What's your best?
I don't know if you saw in the sports world, but the Chicago Bears fleeced the Carolina Panthers, baby.
Yeah.
We got out of the number one spot, and we got a haul of draft picks, and we got a great wide receiver.
A great wide receiver?
A great wide
I would
receiver.
say
My brother
wide-
called me today and was like, they didn't get enough.
For the number one pick?
I would argue they got
I think
He said they should
Well,
have got 2 more picks.
a
well,
receiver
Carolina
with
was saying that they're going to trade back anyway.
Yeah.
They're looking to trade back the number one pick themselves
100%.
well, to
to
make
gain something
I was
back.
going to say
Yeah.
to get more stuff, but they got a receiver with a great ceiling, I would think.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
But it's just like another
I don't
small
think
wide
it's a great.
receiver.
I don't think it's a great ceiling. I think it's a high floor.
sure. Ipso has 6 half dozen.
No, one's way different.
Yeah, either way. You got Chase Claypool, the big guy, the end zone guy.
But we
You
got assets.
Yeah.
We got a target known being crappy quarterbacks. So, he's used to it, but he still puts up numbers.
Still
You
has
love
a
to see
crappy
it.
quarterback.
I'm still waiting for you and your brother to send over the contract.
Buddy.
Yeah.
A lot of provisions in there.
That almost made
You
my
either
worst.
live in
What?
you leave in a bag or a fucking box, bro. There
That
ain't no
text
walking
thread.
away.
I literally walked into my daughter's scrimmage,
Yeah.
and a really cool dad, big Bears fan. He just comes in because we talk, and he was like, "Did you see?" And I said, "My phone's blowing up now, and I hate it."
Yeah. But no, I'm saying I text him and Brandon and I said, drop the contract. I think I'm ready to be a Bears fan.
Gross. The worst.
I mean,
at least congratulations for finally making a decision.
exactly. I'm going to get a book that reads up on it too. Learn all about Dicka, the 95.
I love how you
or the
just
80
like
the 85 Bears.
put all the options out there and was like, I could be a Chiefs fan. I could go back to the Bengals. I can't do that. They'll make fun of me for that. Bears, they're on the upswing, baby. They're about to hit gold. I'm
Are
getting
they?
in on the bottom floor.
Are they?
I'm getting in on the floor, baby.
What if I'm the jinx? What if I carry the jinx over?
I'll fucking
That'd be
kill
a
you.
great
I'll
thing.
kill you, and that's
First
how
of
you
all,
stop being a
can't-
Bears fan.
You can't be the jinx because they haven't done anything yet. Like if they're bad
Well, I
next
went
year, they're
to
still
the-
just bad.
I converted from Bengalism to Brownism, and the Bengals have gone to the Super Bowl now twice.
No,
Maybe
one-
I need you to leave.
just once.
Yeah,
Maybe
once.
I need you to be a Bears fan then leave.
See, that's what I'm saying.
He's the. What's
Oh,
the,
good luck, Chuck.
yeah. Say
Yeah.
good luck, Chuck.
I have sex
luck,
with the
Chuck.
team, and then they get better.
All right.
Yeah, that's the WABs. Okay, worse than the best.
Wabs,
So,
baby.
for the 100th episode, I came up with what I like to call story time. I don't know if you guys are going to enjoy it or not, but I think
But you're going to tell it anyways.
But I
And
think
that's
it's
how
good.
this pod goes.
I
That's
think-
been 99 of them, baby. Might as well do it on 100.
I think it's going to be good. So I call this one the Uncle Vietnam War story. So again, had the warm conversations with the Madre, found out I was almost Justin. We could have been Justin Bros. So I have an Uncle Bill and an Uncle Richard. He goes by Dick. So Uncle Dick, Uncle Bill.
Sick.
They were both drafted.
Shout out Uncle Bill.
Yeah, they were both drafted
Let a
in
dog out.
the Vietnam War. They're her older brothers. So it's my Uncle Bill, or her brother Bill, her brother Richard, sister Patty, sister Sally, and my mom was the youngest of 5. Is that 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I put up, just for like some context, the Vietnam War, I didn't realize it was from 1954 to 1975. Like, this fucker was 21. This fucker was legally able to drink by the time it was over. It's a long time.
Yeah. A lot of people thought that it went way too long. Didn't need to be there in the first place.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff on it.
Yeah, and just the idea, like, obviously that's
Charlie's.
how getting drafted worked. But it was so crazy to me to think, like, it was literally just the fucking lottery balls, but your name was on it. And it's like,
Yep.
Bill, yep, you're going. Dick, yep, you're going. And it's just like, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
and you're just 18 and you're just going to fucking war, dude. Like, that's, that's freaking crazy. But,
I mean, you could be any age, but as long as you're 18.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
Well,
just men.
both your uncles weren't 18 at the same time, but they got drafted.
Oh, yeah, Uncle Bill got drafted first.
Twins,
He-
Bethel.
twins. No, he was older. He went first, and then Uncle Dick went second. But So Uncle Bill, she said, would religiously write back to the family every week. Like every week they would get one letter, and then one week they just didn't get one. And they were just like, oof, well, this is a tough pill. And for me, she's telling these stories, and like, it's so interesting to me because I was like, life fucking meant something back in the day, man. Like, this fucking dude is just fighting war at 18. I'm over here figuring out I can fucking like beat my meat and like get on the internet and just Google boobs. Like, this dude had a purpose. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, there's still people that today go into the military at 18.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's just,
Okay.
it's weird and it's different because we haven't had to draft
Shout
any,
out to
but
all of you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Shout out.
you.
thank you for your service.
Yes.
But TYFYS. But no, it's one of those.
That was just on the tip of the tongue.
He types it all the time, dude. Yes, he knows it.
But it was just crazy to think, like, when's the last time, was the Vietnam War the last time we had to have a draft? I honestly don't know. I'm very ignorant to it.
I don't know. The Korean War, the Gulf War, the
Because, like, you almost want to, like,
Desert Storm. Those are things.
plot out
I
all
feel
the
like those
wars
are things.
to see, like, how it worked out. But I was just like, Jesus. But so anyways, the circle back. Then all of a sudden, I think she said after maybe a month or two, Uncle Bill wrote a letter.
Nice.
Found out that they were staying in a place called, they were stationed in a spot called Long Bin, B-I-N-H. They found out that it was about to get raided. Like, basically, they were going to get attacked. They had found out about the attack prior, and they literally had to go OTG. They just had to go off the grid, couldn't tell anybody, snuck the fuck out, and then that place got, like, bombed, you know, just invaded, whatever. But I was like, that's so fucking crazy, dude. Like, you just don't hear from anybody, or you're used to every week, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope. And you're just like, well, I'm pretty sure I know what this means, and I don't have an iPhone, so I can't.
But I mean, you went a month without getting a folded flag brought to you, so it's like you still had hope.
But would they show up like pretty? Like,
Once they find out you're dead, yeah.
Yeah.
like it's pretty just like next day type shit.
Like they send the officers, the MPs out with the flag and like, hey,
That's
because they don't want you, because like what you did for 2 months, just being like,
yeah. Like,
well, I hope the best.
what do I do with my hands? This is
And they
weird.
just give you closure, and they're like, hey,
yeah.
The last man inducted entered the U.S. Army on June 30th, 1973 during the last draft concluded.
So it was the end of the Vietnam War. Yeah.
Yep.
That's fucking nuts, dude. So, and that's what they were gone for 2 or 3 years, both of them. And I'm thinking, like, you just wrapped up like geometry for your senior year, and then it's like, brother, here's a musket and a gun. Go fight.
they're one
Those
of
are
the
the same
same
thing.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Bayonet.
Yeah,
And
there you
the-
go.
There
yeah.
it is.
But my mom said Bill used to joke, like when he would talk about it, he was the only one that
Best weed.
No, he was the only one who would talk about it, but he would talk about like little quirky, funny things. He said he learned how to fall asleep under any circumstance, and so he joked that he would be able to fall asleep in rice paddies with his rifle above his head. So rice paddies were like the waist deep water where they would grow the cotton. So he's just, imagine a guy walking, and he's just like sleepwalking, and he's just like, that's how I would sleep for just random days. And he's like, I just figured out how to do it. And I was like, better than me, because I need a good old nap. I need a whole like cot, pillows, everything.
I mean,
Slept with his arms up above his head?
yeah.
I would imagine
know.
it's kind of a joke, but he's like, he said he
Yeah.
learned to fall asleep in some pretty
Oh,
weird
sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably
situations.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But he wasn't. God, you guys are so literal.
Hey, Forrest, you put your back on me, I'll put my back on you. That way we don't got to sleep in the mud.
That way we don't get our head in the mud. All right, Bubba.
I remember we were
I gotta go get Bubba.
in high school, and we had one of our really good buddies. He was of like Asian American descent, and we used to always crank "Born in the USA" when we were driving, and on the lyric, "This go and kill the yellow man." My buddy would always kind of turn it down just to be cognizant of it. I was like, I think that actually makes it worse. I was like, just let it play. He's pretty good at like thinking everything's okay.
Bleep.
Yeah.
A little bleep. Yeah. It's tough. But it was just a crazy story, and I was like, to think.
Did you ask him if he ever killed anybody?
She said, my Uncle Dick does not talk about it whatsoever. So I was like,
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to bring
He
it up the
did.
next family vacation or
Well-
family function.
who knows if I'll be there. But it's just one of those, like, I can only imagine, like, it just, I don't know, dude. It was such a cool story, but you're also just like, God, like, there was just so much more at stake for you at 18. And then here I am just like graduating high school.
An older lady yelled at me today.
Yeah, like just Or you just got these fuckos that are just, I got to make a TikTok today, or fuck it. Like, it's
Gotta
just,
keep up with the algorithm, man.
it's
Gotta
so
stay prevalent.
So weird, dude. It just like, it was a really cool story, but really like eye-opening in a lot of ways. I don't know.
Is that going to make a chapter in the book?
Oh, you want to, okay, I see what you did there.
Okay, all right.
So,
How things are different?
half story.
Even though they're not different. Like, there's still 18-year-olds that do that today.
Do they?
Yes.
Do they get drafted?
No, they choose
No, they
to do it, but they're
volunteer.
still like,
But they were
last month
forced
I
to
was
go.
doing oh yes.
Yeah,
There's
that's what
a
I'm saying. That's
huge
crazy.
difference.
Yeah.
Be a draft dodger.
Yeah.
That's what she said back in that time, which I mean, I'm sure everybody assumed like that was the whole go get married, go knock somebody up. She said that was like a huge thing.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was doing it. Yeah. I was just like, good God.
Gotta leave the legacy, man.
But no, so as Sker just weirdly alluded to, I think I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to try to, which I told you, like, I think we should try and write a movie script. That'd be fun.
Duh.
But I landed on book for now. I think I just have, again, ADHD, because I have like a million things
Self-diagnosed.
going through my head. I'm just like, I got to do something. So I started a book.
It's awesome.
Because you knocked down the screen time.
I had to do something.
Got to fill the void.
Yeah.
There was a show used to be on TBS called My Boys, and there was a character on there named Brandon. And
donde?
he used to do the old still. Oh, this is wrong. And his roommate would always be like, "Who'd you go see?" And he was like, "Dr. Brando." And they're like, she's like, "There's nothing wrong with you, man. Get out of bed." Because it was basically was like WebMD before there was WebMD.
love
He was
that.
just always like, "Oh, I think my
Yeah.
rotator cuff." She's like, "That's in the wrong spot, man. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about."
You're touching your leg. This doesn't make sense. Okay. What?
I mean, because it's just 100, so I feel like we're just kind of doing whatever we want.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
It's
so,
fun.
Kind of going off the movie deal.
Story time?
So I was talking about this with your brother,
Okay.
and like we literally like almost worked out a scene.
Yeah.
So
I told you I had one in my head. A lot of shotguns. It was winter.
weird. Yeah, weird. But mine was going off of how we just got off of our little conspiracy sessions. Check them out if you haven't.
Spoiler alert for
We have a little series.
Yeah.
the next story time.
So
watch this.
if obviously there's been movies made like The Bournes and things like that, but if you did it from like an everyday person's standpoint, so like if you knew you were gonna blow the whistle on like the Illuminati or something big that you were gonna be in trouble for,
Right.
make the movie on like the lead up time, like the prep that like an everyday person would have to go to. Because we were talking about like you'd have to take all your money out because you'd have to have cash.
Yeah.
But you couldn't do it all at once because obviously somebody's like, oh, this person just withdrew $40,000. Like, and you just go through this moment.
Right.
Like, how long do you think you could last realistically before they got you?
Not long.
Who would get
I'm
me?
so on the grid.
yeah.
What-
Who would get me?
The Illuminati.
the
The people
people
you're
that
blowing
are
the whistle
watching.
on. The people you're blowing the whistle on.
I'll get him.
So like there's a movie, I'm pretty sure it's Russell Crowe, I want to say, and like Elizabeth Banks. It's called The Next 3 Days. And it's like his wife gets convicted of murder, like her boss or something like that, but she swears she didn't do it. So it's like ambiguous on if it happens or not happens.
Spoiler,
Right.
she did it.
She didn't actually.
Nice.
God,
Spoiler, she did. But anyways, it's The Next 3 Days, and he's
Movie's
like,
10 years old.
he's like, yeah. Oh, what is it? 6 cents? A bunch of 6 cents ruiners.
I'm just
Oh, just about to run by the Blockbuster and go pick that up, man. You just ruined it.
would have loved to. Can't now.
No, it's sick. Well, you got to watch it and you go.
I don't
There's
need
another-
to now.
Well, no, there's a whole nother twist to it. I'm going to explain it.
There's 4 days instead of 3.
No, it's The Next 3 Days, and it's his plan on how he's going to break her out of prison and they get away. So that's what he does. He does all the prep for that. And he's like, this is the next 3 days because after this, she's getting transferred and then she's going maximum security. So he's like, I got to break her out while she's in like lockup, like when
Right.
she's in jail.
Oh,
yeah.
Until she gets a prison.
You're not getting her out of maximum.
So yeah, no. So he's like,
This
all
isn't
right, this is the
jailbreak.
plan. This
Yeah.
is the plan. This is the plan. He's like, I got to lead like basically all these breadcrumbs that lead us thinking we're going this way, and then I'm juking and I'm going that
Yeah.
way.
Kansas City Shuffle.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. You should check it out. But it brought up just the prep time, and it shows just how he's going
Yeah.
step by step and how he's going to do it.
Well, so I was thinking about it based off of like what you're saying, where movies that seem to like captivate us, especially now versus like back then, because we've talked about it a little bit at work.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
I don't know if I can
Swept the Oscars.
Yeah, and I just don't know.
Almost 6 out of 7.
I watched it's just my friend Scott and I were talking about it. I'm like, you watch the trailer and I don't think I can like put myself in that movie. Same thing. What I was going to say is there's older movies where I get that they are renowned and you should go see them, have to see them before you die. I can't teleport myself to that time to where that was what the only thing people knew. Like, I can't do that. And so the movie just doesn't sit right with me like it would have if it was 1992.
I mean, but that's the difference between good movies and great movies, I feel like.
And that's what I would think too, is like that's that fine little, detail where it splits, where it's like this was great in the moment, not great all time.
Yeah.
And so I started watching Pulp Fiction last night because I was reading about it a little bit and how basically Tarantino wrote Natural Born Killers and Pulp Fiction, and they were set to come out. I think they came out 1 year apart. Natural Born Killers went through a ton of rewrites, and basically Tarantino's like imprint on it barely remained after the fact. But all the hype was around Natural Born Killers, and everybody was like, oh, and I guess he's doing Pulp Fiction. Ipso facto, I mean, fast forward, now everything comes out, and it's like Natural Born Killers sucked or didn't live up to any expectation or hype, and Pulp Fiction is this all-time movie.
Well, I feel like it did, but it's just like it's a cult classic. Where Pulp Fiction is just like
All-time.
world renowned,
Yeah.
all time. But Natural Born Killers, it has its cult, it has its following, it has people that absolutely loved it.
But
Oh, I remember my brother back in the day. He obviously he's 4 years older than me, and there was like the shopping complex, in the edition that we grew up in, right next to it. It was Dave's Video.
Okay, yep.
Back when like the posters were a thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you could get literally, they called it the standees, like the things you see at the actual movie theaters.
Duh.
Well, video stores used to have them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And at cycle time, like you would get rid of them, and we would get some of those. And I just remember Natural Born Killers coming out, and I thought it was insane because I'm sure it wasn't the first kind of horror graphic like violence, but I'm like,
Yeah.
this guy doesn't make this type of movie. Like, what is going on?
Oh, yeah. But so all that
So I
to
could see how it could have that cult following.
Yeah.
But all that to say, what I was going to say with Pulp Fiction and just us jokingly wanting to, dabble with seeing what it would be like to try and write a movie script. Pulp Fiction, so maybe it's a hot take, 100th episode, why wouldn't we have one? A couple of them. It is literally a podcast to a degree. So hear me out. Like, the best parts of the movie are them just riding around debating nonsensical bullshit. Everyday shit, and Tarantino just films it in the best way, leading up to not like a pivotal point in the movie, but then like the action happens or the blood and the gore happens, and it's like when they're talking about the Royale with cheese, and it's because they don't do the metric system, or they do the metric system over there versus our shit, like all that stuff. And then they're talking about, oh, if you give your girl a foot massage, like that's not weird. And he's like, are you kidding me? You give Wallace's wife a foot massage? Like that's weird. He's like, you give a guy a foot massage? Shut up. And like they look, he's like, we got here early, so they don't knock on the door yet. They just start arguing about the foot massage again. Like, it literally is just common everyday dialogue, and Tarantino figured out a way to put a movie into it, and it's awesome. So let's just do that.
For your movie?
Yeah.
Just Tarantino a movie?
Call it Pulp Nonfiction.
Borrowed with the intent to keep.
See what you did there?
Yeah, that's a book title. Maybe it's mine, maybe it's not.
I was going to say nonfiction, pulp.
Non-fictional pulp. Yeah, so like, but that'd be good. I think it'd be. I think it's cool to go back now that I have all this time. I inevitably just start watching like the movies that are these great, like highly renowned, ranked movies, and you start to think about the little things, like how we do the podcast, and you start to think about like things differently because you just do. And I'm like, this guy's fucking good, and it's just the little stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, god damn it.
Well, you saw Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, right?
I tried to watch it. That one was one of those where it was too old for me, respectfully. And I hate it that it was, but it was just too old. The action seemed too like corny and not real for me.
Oh, people crush it, and I love it.
Yeah.
Temple of Doom was great. But anyway, did you get to the point where there's a little Asian kid in there? Short round?
No, but he's from the Goonies.
Well, right.
Yeah.
He's the guy that won the Oscar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's him.
Nice.
Had a massive hiatus in his career. Like, again, he thought Goonies,
He was done.
Indiana Jones, like, no, like he was going to be a thing.
Oh, like
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin.
And then just nothing happened.
Like the, because what, is he Asian, Korean, or what was he? I forget.
I think he's Korean.
Korean,
Korean.
yeah. So he's like, I'm going to be the Korean Macaulay Culkin. Like, I'm going to be the next wave of like kid,
Like
prodigies.
he said, literally came over on a boat.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. And then it's
crazy.
just, but that's what I think is kind of cool though, right? When you take that just huge hiatus and then somebody, this is a great tie. And God, we're good at podcasting. So
100.
Tarantino
100,
said,
baby.
and this was such a cool thing, that Lawrence Fishburne should always want to like, not kill, but like his agent at the time,
Calls him Larry.
he should punch him in the face because he told him to turn down Pulp Fiction because he said, Do you know he casted John Travolta right? John Travolta is washed. He doesn't have it anymore. Don't do it. And Tarantino brings people onto his movies not based off of where they're at. He goes, I've seen your body of work, and he just falls in love with people's work. So he's like, you crushed it in Urban Cowboy. You crushed it in Grease. Like, I want John Travolta because of that, not because of what you are now. And he just expects that these people are going to, like, still bring it, but he doesn't question it. Whereas everybody else is like, well, he's old now.
Lawrence Fishburne going to be
Sam Jackson.
I mean, I respect it, but it's kind of dangerous. I mean, it's like,
Oh, it is.
it's like paying people for past performances. Like, if you don't got your fastball anymore, I don't want to pay you the supermax.
But that's
Yeah.
where I think the difference is Tarantino didn't pay him like some crazy amount. He was like,
sure.
I want you in the movie, but I'm not going to be ridiculous about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. This was sick.
yeah, but
I love movies.
I generally don't watch the Oscars, but it was just on. I didn't catch this part because it was the end of it, because they
Yeah.
always do Best Picture for last. And they had Harrison Ford announce it. And that happened, but prior to it, backstage, that actor didn't think that Harrison Ford was going to remember who he was.
Really?
And he came up to him and just called him Short Round. Like, he knew right where it was. And he just gave him a hug. And then the end of the Oscars,
With a clip.
gave him the hug because he was in the movie that won. And I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this is the stuff I know they
Yeah.
say is only in the movies, which
Yeah.
is cliche because it's at the Oscars.
Yeah.
But it's like, you guys finally got something right. Like,
Yeah.
good for you guys.
Wholesome.
Yeah.
Wholesome content. Love to see it.
Well.
Yeah. Okay, so
slap heard around the world.
Boom.
this story. So part 2 of the stories. This is called the Crazy Universe story.
Okay.
So
Was this the text message we got? You said
Maybe.
you have some crazy universe stuff?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is the one.
This is the one I was waiting for.
It's I don't want to say it's selfish, but it's just I knew it was going to be like pod worthy, as dorky as that sounds.
You're awfully great, dude. Do what you
So
want.
I started watching one of the seasons of American Horror Story, and
Which one?
season 10.
Oh, dude, so good.
It is.
Never seen
It's really good.
You gotta watch this shit. Is
So
that the Gaga one? She was
no,
on one.
She was in a bunch of them, but not this one. So, anyways, they randomly use the phrase "see how the sausage is made"
Yeah.
in one of them, and I was like, felt a little weird to me because haven't we been using that phrase a little more frequently lately? Like, I feel like it's come up in conversation more than it has in like the last 3 years of my life.
That's probably because you just hear us say. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've heard it more. So when she says it, it's one of those weird where you just kind of like dog ear perk up. You're like, huh? Okay. Then I was reading the book that I was telling you about that had the Pulp Fiction stuff, the 90s book. I said it honestly was a struggle because there's a bunch of like dumb presidency stuff that's not that interesting. But I was like, push through it. You started reading it. Like, don't put it down. They talk about Pulp Fiction. And I was like, I don't know. This is weird. And then, or the book talks about Pulp Fiction. American Horror Story then brings up a Pulp Fiction reference because in this one, it's about a writer that goes off to like the very tip of Massachusetts, Boston. Weird.
Massachusetts.
And so I was like, this is freaking me the fuck out. And then I was like, it just was really weird because they brought that up because of movie references and stuff. Obviously, I've been trying to go OTG as much as possible. Entire episode is about a chick essentially going off the grid. And she talks about like, guys, we've been at a reunion for like 1 hour and you're on your phones. Like, put them down. Like, it's bad for you. And like, just goes into this extensive breakdown of it and talks about how, I guess some smart scientist guy says that we've advanced roughly 20,000 years in the past 50. And like, if you dropped somebody from like, insert some like prehistoric era and then put them in like another one that's way back in the day, they would, adapt, like overcome all that stuff. But if you took somebody from the 70s and like dropped them in now, they would just fucking explode. Like they wouldn't know what to do. So I was like, this is freaking me out.
Yeah, it's called Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Finally,
Free love, baby.
the American
Three
Horror
seashells?
Story does an entire thing. The season culminates on Area 51 and the moon landing being fake.
Hello.
Lost my mind. I literally was just like, what is happening? Like, who's in my timeline right now and is like, watch this. Like, we're going to fucking make this kid think.
Let's get this guy's simulation dialed up, the little deja vu up a little bit, baby.
Yeah, dude, it was freaking me out. But all that to say, it was the American Horror Story. Their season 10 was a double feature, which I did not realize. So 5 episodes were one season and 5 episodes were a completely different season. Because I was like, how did they go from vampires in Boston to like moon landings and aliens? And I was just waiting for some tie-in, and I was like, oh, these are just 2 different seasons. But it freaked me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the first 3 got people hooked, and then they were just like, well, now I got to watch it every time.
That's what, shout out Cortland.
That's what FX does.
Yeah.
Well, no,
The first 2 to 3 seasons of all their original shows are phenomenal. And then they just decide to go way outside the box, or they do some crazy stuff, and you're like, what am I watching now?
Yeah.
no, so that's what I sent.
You ever watch Nip Tuck?
Love it. Was
So
one of
good.
my favorite shows.
So good.
Yeah.
No, I sent American Horror Story damn near doesn't miss, and he goes, season 1 and 2 are great. The other 9 seasons are some of the worst television ever created. And I said, you need a podcast with all these hot takes. And he goes, I'll call it Hot Hates. I was like, whatever works, man. Sounds good.
Yeah, I know Nip Tuck was one. Rescue Me they did that with.
Yep.
There's another one you're just like, oh, okay, season 3, I can just expect all kinds of crazy shit to happen, and it did.
It's just because they don't know how to keep a show grounded. Like, you know what I mean? And like,
Well, because they're
Boundaries, Dwight.
boundaries.
it's the Avengers. You build it, you build it, you build it, you build it, you build it. So every season has to be better than the last. You're like,
Yeah.
bar's up here now, man. Sometimes you just gotta even keel it. Let's just match it.
Give me the plot twist into the plot twist. That's all I'm
Yeah.
asking. Like, it's just
No.
it's simple
I
math.
don't need that.
Okay, those are my stories. Was story time fun? Did you like it?
I did.
Nice.
That was story time. What?
Well, I mean, I was just gonna. I don't know. I was gonna say something about Avengers, but that's a whole different.
I don't know. Okay,
5 years. 5
years
years
ago. So, in true 2D 1D fashion, I figured for the 100th episode we do a hot take.
Okay.
Let's do it.
This hot take over time, over the week, the 7 days we had to get ready for this, it did turn into a business idea. So I'm going to present you with a hot take. We will debate it, but then I'll also present you with a business idea and figure out maybe if we should go on Shark Tank. So
Before we do that, I got a HTG. Well, here's the thing
yeah.
from this past weekend.
Ooh.
It's more of a gear grinder that I just don't get.
Okay.
And it's like, I understand if you go to a ball game and it's a stadium and there's 2 entrances and there's 80,000 people.
Yeah.
People wait in the bathroom. If you're at Corner Pocket or you're at Arena and there's only 2 stalls, wait outside. One person goes in, one person comes out. You're in that. Like if both are filled, you peek in, both are filled, wait outside.
Yeah.
Don't wait
stalls
in.
and urinals, or just 2 stalls?
Like
It
well,
gets to this-
there's 2 things. There's 2 receptacles to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Stall. So Arena has a stall and a urinal.
Okay.
Corner Pocket in the back has just the 1 stall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
if
think
you
that
pop
matters.
your head in,
I think that matters.
You pop your head in, and you see somebody in there, or both are filled.
Yeah.
Don't wait in the bathroom.
It gets to
Just
a-
wait outside. It's so weird to me
Yeah.
that people wait in there.
Can I?
It's like they don't want to get cut, but they're not because you're in
Yeah, because I'm
line.
like, you're in line. It's
Yeah.
a line, and people like
Yeah.
will see the line, and they'll see you waiting, and then they'll just be like, "Well, and then the person walks from the end of the line and walks up, and you're like, buddy, what are you doing?" And he peeks in there and he goes, "Oh, I've never seen this line so long before." Well, duh, I've been drinking all day, bud.
So, if I peek my head in and there's a urinal and a stall, and you're in the urinal, or do you care if I just go pee in the stall? Or
No, I'm saying they're both filled.
Oh, they're both.
They're
filled.
both
Okay,
occupied.
okay.
They're both occupied. I'm not saying I'm using one, you can't use the other.
Okay, I was like,
They're
that's a little
both-
weird. But I do
they're
feel like
both-
there's probably people that are like the one where they just have the 2 random ones. I bet a
Yeah.
lot of people lock the door and they're just peeing in the urinal.
Oh, I don't mind like that. I'm just saying,
If
like
they're
you're
full, yes.
waiting in there and you're just like waiting on one person to get done.
Gotcha.
So then you can go and that person washes their hand. Then the next guy who's just waiting on one person to leave, one person to enter, then he walks in and then he's like, oh, they're both full. But now I'm just like,
yeah.
oh, so then he has to stand there just in a bathroom where it smells like shit and there's piss everywhere. I'm like, just wait outside, man.
I think it's the first step in evolution to the inevitable guy that pisses in the sink,
Oh, yeah.
and then the guy that's like, "Hey, bro, you care if we just swords? Use swords?" And it's like,
Dude, I'm about to piss in this trash can.
yeah, like it just evolves into that, and then that's why I said you blink, Otis leaves, and then
Dude, that's
there's
why
just-
I love Otis being
Yeah,
in there,
exactly.
regulating.
And
He's
then
like
there's-
one in, one out, bro.
Yeah.
That's how we go.
And then there's smashed beer bottles and just cans in the toilet. I'm like, what are you, a bunch of fucking animals? Like, Jesus.
Shout out Otis, whoever he is.
He's a bathroom attendant. Keeps
Yeah.
things in line.
I'm telling you, talk to him. He's a good guy. Venmo.
Pay him the $1.
Yeah.
He's doing the Lord's work.
Got some gum, got some candy, got some beautiful roses. $1 for your roses. Got a lady out there. Get
You
you
got
a
some
rose.
cologne out there, make it
Get
smell
some
good?
cologne, make
Good
it
for
smell
him.
good. Get some gum.
Yeah.
But no, I would agree with you. I think that's weird.
Yeah. Waiting in the bathroom for somebody to get done is weird. I'm like, especially
in
at corner
those
pocket.
intimate bathrooms.
Yes,
like
an
if there's
intimate bathroom.
multiple stalls, then you have to.
And if
No.
there's multiple entrances, I get it. Somebody might try and come in the other way.
Correct.
That's fine.
Well-
but like at corner pocket, it's just one stall. Everybody knows it's one stall, and they just come in and then they wait. And I'm just like, all
One
right,
stall, everybody knows the rules.
come on.
But here's the thing.
But then I got to do the thing where I got to like, because it's this big,
yeah.
and then you got to like, well, all right, let you pass because I got to wash my hands, or I got to get by you to get to the door. So it's just like, okay, but there's not a lot of room in here.
But here's the thing, at least with Arena's setup, which I mean, don't get me wrong, shout out Arena, love them. When you're up on the, like, I don't want to call it the stage, but like the step up to the bar, at some point it gets so busy in there that the bathroom doors are usually just kind of like propped open for better or worse. You're just staring dead into the women's restroom. Yeah. Like, it's really weird. I don't understand it. And then there's also been the times where the guys' line gets so long and you get some fucking roided motherfucker that doesn't want to wait. They see the line, they lose it. They're usually just in like fucking sprinkled buckle jeans and an Affliction t-shirt or a tap out t-shirt. And they just go, nope, not waiting. Just go in the girls' restroom. And I'm like, you can't do that. Like,
What if they identify?
he identifies a prick.
Like 100%.
I think I told you when we were at the bachelor party in Kentucky. I forget what bar it was at, but it was fairly busy in the bar, but not the bathroom. And they had multiple stalls, but one of the stalls just didn't have a door, and it was the only one that was open. And I just had to take a shit.
Love that.
So I'm just doing that without a door.
Respect.
I'm just like, well, this has to happen.
How's it going?
Hey, it's going to be a minute, brother.
Take a picture. She'll last longer.
And again, I have no problem doing my business anywhere. And it's
No.
like, you come sit by me, I'm not going to hold back. But it's like,
Yeah.
it was a little weird without the door.
Take you back to fucking elementary, middle school where they just get
Yes.
ripped off. And you're
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? I hope nobody has to poop right now. Yeah.
Weird.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I agree. Like, you just
Wait outside.
Yeah, just wait outside, man.
it's just
I
simple,
promise.
It's simple math. Yeah, you can pee in a
Everybody wins.
yeah, like it's
That's
honestly.
the thing. Everybody's winning by
Yeah.
doing that.
yeah. Okay, so the hot take. You should have to revert your phone to strictly audio calls and or text messages when entering any place of business, maybe even just off altogether. I'll give you a story as to why, and then we can banter and debate. I had a couple, and they were actually really nice, so I don't want to seem or say that, like, on top of everything, all they were pricks. Double AirPods. The one, I believe, had just, like, music playing in their ear that you could hear, like, subtly.
Love that.
The other person was on a multi-person FaceTime call, all while I was helping them. To the point where
Sure.
at one point I was giving them information that they came in to see me for, and the person on the FaceTime call said, "Oh, hang on, I got to go over here. They said you guys are being too loud." "Oh, I'm sorry. You mean the place of business that you came to do with me? I'm too loud? Shut the fuck up and get off your phone." Respectfully. Like,
So they're not pricks or they're nice?
I'm saying that act.
They were nice. They were just rude.
Yeah, nice people
Yeah.
that were just ignorant to the fact that, like, take your fucking AirPods out of your ear and hang up your goddamn phone call. Like, I don't understand. And I get, like, especially where we work, where
I
it's
trying
like,
to build his multi-level marketing team, dude.
but I'm saying, like, I get it. We
Triangle.
literally sell phones to people. So I understand the premise is going to be very hard at our place of
Dabble with
business.
internet and TV as well.
Yes. Entertainment services.
We can't go down this road. I don't want to do it.
Okay, thank you. But it's one of those where I'm like,
Edit out.
look around at how many times, I bet even when you cut their hair, which I respect what you do because you do your job. And if somebody wants to converse with you, you'll converse with them. But if not, you're going to take the high road and assume maybe they just want to be left alone and be at peace.
100%.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I probably feel like that's what any barber
Love getting my
should
hair
do.
cut in silence.
But how many people just sit there on their phone? More than
I wouldn't
not.
say sit on their phone. Actually, not a lot.
Because you have to reach your arms out, and it's like you're gonna get.
Some people
all
are
weird.
like, get on their phone, put it away. Get on their phone, put it away.
Yeah.
Which I hate that even more. I'm like, if you have your phone out, just have your phone out. Like, I don't care.
Because you're going
It
to
doesn't
potentially
bother me.
mess with. I mean,
Because I'll move your phone.
yeah,
Like, I'm like, hey man, I got to do this, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah,
yeah.
and they'll take a break.
slap
But,
it
but
out.
yeah, it all just goes back to I'm like,
I do it to little kids, dude, because I'm like,
How
hey,
cool-
man, I'm trying to line you up. And then, like, they're just, like, looking down. So I just grab it and I put on the thing. And I'm like, look up at me right here. Close your eyes.
Yeah.
Neek, 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 neek.
there was another guy,
Get out of my chair.
Yes.
same day this past weekend. He had, which I get it, Big Ten conference tournaments on. Awesome. Just propped up on our desk again as he's being helped, just watching the game and half-assed answering questions.
Oh, I don't blame him for that at all.
But I
Probably had a few shekels riding on that, man.
either way, I'm just like, think about how we live in a world now where if you don't have that comfort blanket of your phone, like not only just on you, but out, like people can't do it. It's insane.
Make it like the courthouse, dude. Turn your phone. You can't bring your phone in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I literally, so you ready for the business idea?
Here it is.
What do you, okay, so hot take, agree or disagree?
Oh, bud. I'm 100% on board.
Okay.
That's not even close to a hot take.
I agree.
Yeah, like I just think it would add a level of professionalism. And here's a crazy thing. You'd actually talk to people and maybe accomplish more than what you assumed you were going to accomplish.
Well, I mean, they were talking to people. It just wasn't you.
Exactly. Things could go smoother. The business idea. Open a bar where in order to enter, you have to give up your phone. So basically you do an NDA just right when you walk in. You just have to put your phone in like a bucket or a locker. They lock it up, key, whatever you want to do to where you take all the, well, what if my phone gets...
I was going to say, what's my guarantee?
Exactly. You're guaranteed to get
What
your
if you're a
phone
parent?
back. Well, and that's what I was going to say, so I'm glad you brought this up. I thought
All right.
about that. If you give up your phone, I guess in my fantasy world here of my business idea, you keep the same phone number, obviously, but they would just give you like a flip phone. And they would say, hey, here, if you need, emergencies,
Pop
Call-
your sim?
calls, here you go.
Pop the sim, throw it in the flip.
Yep.
There you go, dude.
Like, I genuinely
Well,
think...
there you go. That's what you could do.
What?
No smartphones allowed.
Right, but I honestly like the idea of just doing no phones more because I think, weirdly enough, people would be more on board just giving up their phone entirely versus being handed something else.
Oh, I think so too. But I do think that there would be people that are like, I'm on like the one date night a month. I need to make sure the kids are okay.
Yes, and that's what I understand, but I genuinely think that business idea has some legs. Like, it just in the sense of nostalgia, you get the right bar,
Well,
the right setting.
You're catering towards a certain demographic. You're not getting anybody 18 to 30 in there.
or are you?
You might.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
Like,
those are the ones that are like, oh, cool, I don't have to have my phone. It's like, I don't have an emergency. But then it's like, well, how do you leave?
what do
You're
you
just
mean?
going to grab your phone and then wait outside, then get the Uber? That's insane behavior, man.
You just drive home.
We don't condone that.
No, it's just one of the things you have like the big smartphone like screen on the wall. You just log out of Uber. Next person logs in with their info.
Oh, I would love that if it was like a bar.
Yeah, like I know my Uber info.
No,
Are you
I-
nuts, man?
You don't have to use
But
the
see,
same password for everything.
But how great would that be? Where
But then
it
you forget to log out and everybody's just ordering rides?
No, it's automatic. It's just
I would-
Uber's done. Automatic log out.
imagine a touch tunes that's on the wall because I honestly love this building upon an idea, and it's just a bar Uber account. So they make sure we're doing the right thing. We're calling Ubers for these people, and then that's part of your tab.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, dude, we're smart,
What?
wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
That's my boy's wicked smart.
But yeah, I was just thinking about it, and I'm like, I know it would be like weird at first, but I truly think it would gain some, I don't want to say attention, but it would gain some traction, and people I think
Yeah.
would be very into it because here's the thing. Everything tends to shift towards like the negative aspects of things. Well, now you're off the grid and you can be as sketchy as you fucking want because there ain't no phones here.
Let's
That's
not
a
promote that.
downplay. Yeah.
Let's not promote that.
Well, but you know what I'm saying because that's inevitably where people would potentially want to take it. They would be like, hey, let's go to this bar. Only catch is you got to turn in your phone. So
Yeah.
nobody's sniping a picture of you. Nobody's texting people on the side. Like you're just truly there involved with the people you're with.
Yeah.
Or hear me out. Let's go the other way.
Two phones.
We open up a bar.
We give you an extra phone.
Nobody can say a word. You just have to converse.
You have to text it. You have to text it the whole time.
Could you imagine?
No. That would be fucking terrible.
You have to write your order on like a
5 BLs.
Yes.
I mean, if you had to like write it, that'd be funny, and you have to like pass notes to people. Like I could respect that because it would just get funny. It'd be like playing the quiet game in the library.
Just go slip a note to a chick. Just watch her immediately rip it up in your face.
Just dunk it in the ranch. Fucking throw it away. Yeah.
I do feel like you would have to have a pretty up-to-date type, like bouncer security type setting. Because again, if Joe Schmo knows he can come in here, nobody's gonna slap photos. No one's gonna be doing anything crazy. Like, and he
flipping
can
Mickey's, dude.
get away with shit.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it sucks that you
I
have
want
to,
my man out.
but it sucks you have to think of that.
Oh, sure.
But what I'm saying
But
is
I want
that-
contingencies.
But yeah, you would just create like this, I mean, truly natural environment, which is what a bar's supposed to be. Like, you're here to just fucking cut loose. Like, so you want to know what made me think of it? Shout out movies. I watched Footloose again, and it reminded me when they're in the original one, and Old Bacon takes him into town. I think it's in Chicago. No.
Yeah.
Because he moves. No, they move somewhere.
Over the bridge?
Yeah, like they just go into the city and they walk in and he's just instantly like, yeah, and they're just like fucking pumped, and like Willard goes and gets beer, but they just go straight dancing because there's nobody there to be like, okay, who else is coming? Who else is here? Like, check somebody's story. Let's see if they're on their way. Like, what are they doing? It's like you're just there consuming the bar, taking it in, and it's like I can either choose to A, have fun and go fucking party with Kevin Bacon and his ugly girlfriend, or sit with Willard and just slug beers. Both options are awesome. I would imagine the beers are going to inevitably lead to the dancing, but that like it would just.
Oh,
I mean, you can do that now.
I know, and I feel like we usually do a pretty good job of that. Where I rarely am I on my phone. I feel like when we go out, unless we're putting a couple shekels on a bet.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, but then you see, like, you really do still see these people. It's
Just have one of those scramblers where it just basically messes
That's
your
what
phone
I'm saying.
up.
You could just get that.
just EMP people.
I just want to do that.
Walk around.
Yeah.
Just,
You just get a signal scrambler, and everybody just loses service in your
Yeah.
bar.
I don't know. I think
But
it would be.
make it known.
I think it would be a solid business idea.
No. Every time I go into
I
Travis'
just lose
bar,
service when I walk in here.
What would you call the bar? OTG?
I mean, that would actually
Off the grid?
apply, but
Yeah.
there'd be better names.
I'm just saying, man, my ADHD's going nuts. I got ideas out the wazoo.
So, how you said my man had to watch the game because he had some shekels on it.
Yeah.
If I told you,
What if I told
what
you?
if I told you that you would, I'm not going to say like you're going to hit millions of dollars, but if you were going to end each year ahead in gambling, but you couldn't watch any sports, would you do it? Because I do think for some people, gambling is being able to watch and root, and it's that sense of what's going to happen.
It's another layer
Can I
of
watch
sports,
just not the games I bet on?
No, sports are just done.
I
You're just,
wouldn't do it.
done.
Nope.
I would go back to
It's like trading stocks. You're just betting on something.
sports.
But I will
No.
promise you, you'll be up.
Sports are too invaluable. No price.
How
tag.
much am I up? How many units?
You're not.
It's got to be a lot.
5 bozos.
You
Like,
still-
I got to be up like,
You still have to work.
yeah, but I got to be up like 20 bands. Like 20 bands a year.
20 bozos.
Yeah. 20 bozos a year.
I wouldn't. Here's the thing, man.
I would take
Sports are just
10. No.
sports are too precious.
Yeah.
They really are.
It's just basic, but that's like,
You want to know the crazy?
that's like the shifts that we put in and what we do.
You're gonna
So,
make
like, my
$5,000 every year for the rest of your life gambling, but you can only watch sports that you're not betting on.
No.
Only
not-
watch sports. I'm not like the game or the entire sport.
The game. So like if you
Yeah,
bet the
yeah, I
Monday
would
Night
just bet
Football
on-
game, you can't watch it.
I would just bet on cricket.
Yeah.
Overseas cricket or tennis. You have to give me.
You have to bet
real-
on something that is
real-
in that same sport.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing.
Then yes, $5,000. I just can't watch the games I bet on. Yes.
Your first idea needs to be the only true idea because you can't put a price tag on sports. Like
Oh, you can.
Because I could just find one game at even money and just put 5 bands on it, and then
no.
I know
So
I'm
as
even.
much as
And
much
I'm
as
watching every game.
either of you guys want to say you would be able to do it, there's something like
oh no, I never said I would be
yeah,
able to
that's
do
just
it.
a feel good. It's the white noise of baseball in the background when it's summer. Like
No.
it's you need
Nah.
active sports going on.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I-
what I'm saying. I couldn't do it.
yeah.
20 bands. It'd be hard.
Oh
It
no,
would
like
suck.
it was one of the bigger things for me. Like when I basically stopped gambling, I thought I was never gonna watch sports because I'm like, this is why I watch sports. But it's like,
Because you start to fiend.
well, but then you're like, you watch sports before you gambled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you just kind of like sports.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
And I still watch them just as much.
Because they're tight.
Yeah.
I got us through COVID, man. Sports.
Players are cool. So are sports.
Yeah, man. It wouldn't be anything less than 20 bands. But $5,000 a year just can't watch the game I bet on. Yeah.
Say less. Yeah. You want me to bet on fucking Jacksonville? Sure.
I mean,
I won't watch it. Sorry, Trevor.
you watched it.
Trevor boys.
All right, well, then how about this same thing? 5 bands a year, but you can never watch another football game again.
Ugh. No. Sorry. Bye.
You got all the sports you want except football.
College?
Nope.
football.
XFL.
Dude.
I'll give you XFL.
Nah.
Cute.
I'll give you XFL and USFL.
Yeah.
I get to watch the other ones. No, I
Okay.
couldn't do it.
So then, what was your here's the thing from
You
last
can take
week?
baseball season. I'll give you baseball season.
Do you want to round us out for episode 100 with the last here's the thing? I thought you said you had a good one from last week.
I did, but I'm going to change it up because I got a different one.
You sound
Nice.
like me. Okay. Cool. Put it,
ADHD's kicking in.
put it in the back pocket.
So here's the thing, and I think for some people, if you're still with us, I love it. If you're not and you don't get this, you know what? It's not for everybody, but I think everybody here will.
Fuck off.
Huge issue
Yarbos.
with season 6 of New Girl. So
Okay.
there's a span where Jess and Robbie have their thing.
Robbie.
And obviously it turns out they're related somehow down the family tree that they find out. You
And
know,
he's just insanely rich.
with the hike. Oh,
Yeah.
he plays with Santana. He's got a gold record.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
But so they end up kissing on that episode, and that's what they call it quits. So they had a Christmas episode, the Christmas Eve, where she flies Reagan in, does all this stuff because
Oh, yeah.
Jess is just all into it. Robbie's basically the Secret Santa rapper, so nobody knows. He's just all on her side. They forget Jess in the Secret Santa, but they overlook, and Jess doesn't have a Secret Santa person, so she doesn't have a gift.
Yeah.
They wake her up. She goes outside. She gets the Christmas song sang by her favorite Christmas singer that Robbie orchestrated,
Yeah.
does all that. That's 5 episodes prior to the hike. That night, Jess is having sex with Robbie.
Oh, 100%.
There is no way he does all that stuff for her on Christmas Eve, and he's not getting that.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he's just trying to be a gentleman.
No.
No.
And then multiple episodes go by. And you mean to tell me on the hike is the first time? And I get it. Their whole thing was there was no yowza. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
And so, like, I get they tried to, like, downplay the, like, just attraction to each other.
Yeah.
But they work it out, and they gave it a shot. There's
Yeah.
no way he is not sealing the deal that night, let
'cause
alone
wasn't
5
it, like,
episodes early.
The Thanksgiving where she did start to like him
Yeah, because he
finally.
stands up
Yeah.
for, I think it's Schmidt's
Yeah.
dad does
Yeah,
something
Schmidt's dad.
weird.
So you
And
just
he
want
was-
him to have a little holiday humping.
Well, I'm like, there's no way this didn't happen. And then they kiss randomly on a hike, and then they talk like about their past, and they're like, oh my God, I think we're related. And that's what ends it. You guys have already had sex.
Oh,
I don't care about this random kiss.
A little too much eggnog, am I right?
well,
Sometimes you don't know.
And I get it. 6 episodes or 6 seasons, you can nitpick a bunch of things in a bunch of sitcoms. Like, oh, well, this episode they said this, and it
Yeah.
debunks what you did earlier on.
It was a weird picky nit, I'll be honest.
I think it's a big one.
but it's 5 episodes, and you went episode Thanksgiving to Christmas, and then you go 5 episodes to the hike.
Right. You're just dragging this on. Unfortunately, we all knew she was going to end up with Nick, which pissed me off. But
Yeah, guy's an author.
Nick sucks.
Shout out books. Hope
God,
to write
he's the
one
wor-
someday.
God, he's the worst. But yeah, like that, just don't.
What's the character's name?
What?
The cop's name?
The cop's name?
Nick's character?
And
I'm from Chicago.
I'm from Chicago. I'm Julius Pepperwood.
Yeah,
Julius
Julius
Pepperwood.
Pepperwood. No, so really funny.
It's
that you-
insane.
No, but funny you brought that up. Nothing to do with your story because it's weird. At work today, Jen, shout out her boss. She
Pepperwood.
she said something to me about like basically more or less being in trouble, so to speak. And I just go, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "I saw you like you didn't do this." And I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Trav, I'm talking to you." And I go, "What do you mean?" Nobody got it. And Alyssa, shout out Alyssa, our other boss, she's the other huge New Girl fanatic. And like, it's one of my favorite, I think, dialogues between Nick and Schmidt, where Schmidt's like, "Nick, I got to talk to you. You know how I told you I broke up with Cece?
What do you mean?
That didn't actually happen." "What do you mean?" "I'm still dating Cece." "What do you mean?"
Well,
So
But
you
you
broke up with
also-
Elizabeth. No. What do you mean?
but you're also saying it in like a sarcastic manner. He was genuinely confused. So
You're
like,
trying to have a bunch of wives?
right? So like,
You only have one wife.
when she was like, "Hey, I didn't see you do it," you needed to be like, "What do you mean?"
No, I said it like pretty Nick. I was like, what do you mean? She just, obviously she didn't get it, but I was like, this is great. I loved it. And I told Alyssa, obviously she lost it. It's just real. Shut it down.
You know what else was great?
Episode 100.
Episode
All of
100.
Also, fun fact for those still around, 6,240 minutes is 374,000 seconds,
It
or
is.
4.3 days.
Hello.
The next 100 are going to be even better.
Wicca wicca.
We promise.